All right, Bobby, hit it.
God bless America, and that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains, through the valleys, through the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Bobby Dorman, and welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Richard Reisman, the publisher and CEO of the Orange County Business Journal. And it's my pleasure to welcome you all this evening and to shh. And it's my pleasure to congratulate you all this evening and all of the nominees. Please let me acknowledge our sponsors who make this event possible. Our diamond sponsors, PricewaterhouseCoopers and Marsh and McLennan Agency. Our gold sponsors, the DLC Group, Century Group, Leap Pros Workforce Solutions, Avantex Professional Services, and 5 Point. Our silver sponsors, Deloitte, Deloitte, Angels Baseball, McDermott and Bull, Umpqua Bank, Anaheim Ducks, Honda Center, and City National Bank. We're really proud to have the support of such outstanding organizations. And I'd like to say that with their support, our crowd today is 20% bigger than the one last year. I'm not sure what to attribute that to, but I think it's a good thing. At this point, I'd like to ask our associate publisher, Laura Garrett, and our editor, Mark Mueller, to please stand and be recognized. Tonight's event is the work of Laura and the advertising department, and the CFO of the Year Award special report, our weekly magazine, and our daily news updates are the work of Mark and our editorial department. The Business Journal will be profiling tonight's award recipients in our February 11th issue. And finally, please, don't forget to turn your cell phone ringers back on at the conclusion of the program. Thank you for joining us tonight and supporting Orange County's outstanding CFOs. Enjoy your dinner. We'll be back in half an hour.
So, anyway, that was a good way to get the heart rate up. Thank you so much, Gary and Sam. I especially appreciate all the effort that those folks in the audience made to come out this evening, despite the dangerously cold weather out there. The forecast tonight, just to let you know, is for a low of 51 degrees. Okay, that's above zero, just to be clear, which may qualify as a polar vortex by Irvine standards. So, just want you to know, our daughter in Chicago actually was outside when it was about 20 below zero, and she said it was cold. So, I actually am very happy to be back here as your host, as Sam mentioned, for the 9th time. I just want to point out, that's the same number of times that Tom Brady has made it to the Super Bowl. Okay? But, I've gotten to the big stage here in 9 consecutive years. And it took Mr. Brady 19 long years to get to the big stage 9 times, okay? Just want to be clear on that. So if he is the greatest quarterback of all time, and most people pretty much acknowledge that now, What does that say about me as MC? Come on, you want to chant? Go, 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 go. Here we go. Now, some of you might say that the CFO of the Year awards are not as big a deal as the Super Bowl. But you're wrong. This is such a big-time event. It's so big that politicians from both parties have recognized that the CFO of the Year awards are essential to American democracy. And how do we know that? Because we can postpone the State of the Union address for a government shutdown, but nobody even dares, no politician from any party dares suggest that tonight's award should be delayed by federal government funding problems. This show goes on no matter what. By the way, speaking of the government shutdown, I do want to apologize to those of you out there who maybe didn't recognize me tonight because of my recently added facial hair here. Unfortunately, my razor was furloughed as part of the federal government shutdown, but with the temporary government funding coming back now for at least a couple weeks, I'm expecting I'll be clean-shaven within a couple days, so it'll be okay. Now, before we go any further and get into the awards, I want to figure out something about one of our diamond sponsors, MMA, Marsh McLennan Agencies. So here's the backstory as Sam touched briefly upon. When Marsh acquired a number of agencies over the past few years, all of which served middle market clients, they decided to consolidate all those agencies across the US under a single brand. So far, so good. So the geniuses in marketing said, let's name it Marsh McLennan Agencies. And guess what? We can call it MMA for short. That'll be catchy and easy to remember. Hello? Most people think MMA is mixed martial arts, a brutal fighting sport often done in a cage called the octagon. Is this the image that folks want for their insurance professional? I think not. Before I met Sam, when he came to my office to introduce himself and chat a little bit, I expected like some big 6'3", muscled up, 265-pound hulk of a guy covered with tats, because he said he's coming from MMA. Boy, was I ever surprised. Sam, do you want to flex for the audience here? Just give us a little. There you go. I like that. I like that. Fortunately, our other diamond sponsor, PwC, was a lot better at branding and smartly rejected the suggestion that they rename themselves UFC. Mixed martial arts and insurance are a bad idea. Mixed martial arts and accounting is even worse. So now let's put on our gloves and punch out a big round of applause for our generous diamond sponsors, PricewaterhouseCoopers and Marsh McLennan Agencies. By the way, speaking of great people and a wonderful resource in our community, let's talk about the Orange County Business Journal. Their team of hard-hitting reporters fight to figure out which deals have been done and who are the champions in our community, and they bring it all to us in an awesome weekly newspaper, a copy of which you might just happen to have by your seat, and of course an online news feed and a series of annual awards events, of which this is just one. And these keep us connected to our local business community, which is always fast-changing. So let's express our appreciation for our friends at the Business Journal and the fearless leadership of the publisher himself, Mr. Richard Reisman. And as Sam and Gary told you, in addition to their daily news gathering activities, you know, they managed to squeeze out a few extra hours during the busy week to work with our sponsors to evaluate the numerous applicants for tonight's awards and also to select our winners from an incredibly talented pool of individuals. We're going to present 5 awards this evening to individuals who are among the best of Orange County's CFOs. Our first award this evening is for Public Company CFO of the Year. You talk about a tough job. Maybe it's not quite as violent as mixed martial arts, but you have to fight off activist investors, as some companies in our community have dealt with recently. You have to deal with Wall Street analysts who ask lots of tough questions on every call. You have to certify the accuracy of more numbers than you can ever check. You have to rely on a team of other folks to help you train for the quarterly earnings calls where you're going to get brutalized by various questioners from the big Wall Street banks. And all the while, you're stuck inside this cage of those darn quarterly earnings guidance estimates that you put out last quarter before the shit hit the fan. So we have a tremendous presenter for the CFO of the Year, public company CFO this evening, Summer Taylor. She is a managing director with Deloitte, and she has extensive experience in auditing both public and private companies, as well as doing SEC reporting. Not only does she know a lot of stuff about accounting, but she actually knows how to teach others about accounting, which I will tell you, the ability to teach people is a different skill than just knowing the information yourself. Summer is a national office master trainer of Deloitte Faculty Excellence. Now, if that isn't a title, I don't know what is. Get this, master trainer, master, I feel unworthy, of Deloitte Faculty Excellence, wow. And if you still don't take my word for it about how smart she is, consider that she has LinkedIn endorsements in 20, count them 20, because I did count them actually, different categories of expertise. I mean, I don't think I could name 20 categories of expertise, let alone be an expert in them. And if that weren't enough, she somehow manages to find time to be president of the Orange County Long Beach chapter of the California CPA Society. The CPA Society is a longtime partner with the Orange County Business Journal in the presentation of this annual program, and they're a great professional development resource for CPAs. So let's welcome Summer to present the Public Company CFO of the Year Award.
Thank you. Thank you for that great introduction, Murray. I usually like to keep the fact that I teach accounting for fun a secret because it just outs me as a total nerd. So thank you so much for having me here tonight. I am proud to represent the Orange County Long Beach chapter of Cal CPA. We promote the value and integrity of the CPA profession. We advocate for our members, and we provide networking and educational learning opportunities for our CPAs at every stage of their career. And I am super excited because tonight we get to honor one of our own as an outstanding public company CFO of the Year. This individual is responsible for finance, accounting, risk management, legal, loss prevention, and distribution functions of a publicly traded company with over $500 million in revenue. And they recently led a successful secondary offering valued at over $100 million. So just as a background, before I tell you about this company's performance, I thought it would be helpful to provide some insight about the industry in which this company operates. The industry is currently going through a massive transformation with a huge amount of disruption that's been called the apocalypse. It's seen over 40 of its industry peers declare bankruptcy over the past 3 years. And you'll find that this company has clearly avoided all those trends. So over that same challenging period, this company has been able to achieve 10 consecutive quarters of positive, flat to positive same-store sales growth, consistently healthy product margins, improved year-over-year margins, operating margins, and the CFO has partnered with the CEO on several strategic initiatives to improve performance, including carefully evaluating new stores and choosing selectively which stores should be closed, executing various merchandising initiatives to improve store performance, and by challenging a pre-existing marketing initiative with catalogs, he was able to save the company over $6.9 million over the course of 2 years. Most recently, the company announced that it had its most favorable performance for the holiday season since 2011. So at this point, I have to ask, what apocalypse are we talking about? Because this company clearly seems to not be in that same industry. The motto of this company is, if it's not here, it's not happening. Supported by the CFO, this specialty retailer of apparel, footwear, accessories, and and accessories for young adults, teens, and children has demonstrated the ability to build a lasting connection with, let's face it, a generation that has an attention span of about 8 seconds long. So I think it's fairly safe to say it is happening at Tillys. Prior to joining Tillys, this CFO was Vice President and Global Controller at Quicksilver and Senior Vice President and CFO at Pacific Sunwear. Please join me in congratulating 2019 CFO of the Year public company from Tillys, Mike Henry.
People are pretty loud for folks that refer to me as Buzzkill every day. Thank you to the Orange County Business Journal, all the great sponsors in putting on this great night. It's an absolute thrill. I'm very humbled and honored to stand up here on this stage in front of a room of such talented people. Many of you friends and colleagues over the years from Deloitte, PacSun, Quicksilver, and now Tillys. I'm so proud to be standing up here and representing the entire Tillys organization, because I'm just one link in the chain of a whole bunch of people that have driven those results that Summer just talked about. And it's so apropos to have a fellow Deloitter introduce me too, because that's where I started my career coming out of college, and saw so many of you former, actually still current Deloitters and former Deloitters before the event here. It's a great thrill for me. I am so thrilled to be and proud to be part of the Tillys organization. You know, for us, everything starts with our founder, co-founder, and chairman, Mr. Hezi Shaked. This man's tireless passion and commitment to the Tillys business that he built seriously from nothing up to the $600 million publicly traded company you see today is absolutely phenomenal. He is an inspiration to all of us that work for him. And Hezi, I'm so thankful that you brought me into your Tillys family almost 4 years ago now. I could not imagine being happier anywhere else. Thank you. I also want to thank our independent board members, Seth, Janet, Doug, Bernie. These folks are constant resources for us. They're sounding boards. They're throwing in challenges all the time. They don't just show up on board meeting day, disappear until the next board meeting. I'm very fortunate to have each one of them as a resource, so thank each one of you. I want to thank our crazy CEO, Ed Thomas, wherever he is in the room. I call him crazy because this man pulls more stunts than, where are you? Stand up. There you are. I call him crazy because this man pulls more stunts than any 10 people I've ever heard of. He has a unique ability to bring fun, laughter, and levity into the workplace, even though we're fighting for every inch every day. As Summer mentioned, we've been fighting the retail apocalypse. You know, all stores are dying, all malls are dying, Amazon's taking over the world, woe is me. And yet we've delivered some pretty remarkable results together, and it's taken a great group of people to work together to get that done. This isn't about me. I'm only up here because of a whole group of people that have worked awfully hard to deliver those results that Summer mentioned over the last 2 to 3 years. So I have to thank Ed because he's such a great boss to work for. He creates a great environment. He's a great mentor to me personally, and I'm enjoying my daily job more than I ever have, largely because of you, Ed, so thank you so much. And then again, it is a huge group of people that have delivered these results. Our entire executive team, many of whom are here tonight, all the department heads that report directly to me and all their respective teams, they do all the hard work. They're the reason I'm standing up here, because of all the hard work they've done to deliver these results that we've enjoyed. So I thank each and every one of you, because I am only standing up here because of you. Thank you so much. And then, pardon, sorry, I have to do two personal things. I wish my mom and dad could be here. They're 200 miles up the road in Lompoc, where I grew up. They grew up in very poor families with very limited opportunities, challenging circumstances. From families that had very little opportunity. My dad and all the men in the family were military men. My mom and all her sisters, they got married, raised families. That's just what you did. I can remember my dad pulling me aside when I was 11 years old and telling me that, don't follow in my footsteps. You need to be better than me. And go to school and build a better life for yourself than what you see. And I'm struck by the humility of that as I stand here at this moment. And I apologize for losing a little bit, but it means an awful lot to me. And he would tell you that I got all my intelligence, my financial sense, my drive, and yes, my stubbornness from my mother. So I have to thank both of them for the fact that I can stand up here on this stage, live the blessed life that I've lived and the opportunities I have that they never got to enjoy. I'm so proud of them, and I wish they could see this. And then lastly, but best, I have to thank my wonder wife, Shelly. Her tireless love and support brings a smile and a light to every single day, and I'm so fortunate to share daily life with her. Thank you, honey. I love you very much.
Wow, Mike. It's just really, it humbles you, It's just, what a story, folks. That's one of the many reasons this country is amazing. On a somewhat related note, though, Mike, I do have to mention that in case you weren't aware of it, there is a long tradition of winning companies at this event showing their appreciation for the recognition by giving product samples to the MC. And even though, admittedly, I have nothing to do with the selection of winners here, but, maybe there's somebody here from Tillys who could just take down a quick note that our 18-year-old son wears 30 by 32 Levi's. He likes the 513 slim fits in the stone-washed blue, for all you Tillys folks who are out there, and he's size medium for shirts, just in case you have anything around. Also, by the way, Mike, I want to, first of all, thank you and the Tillys team for supporting this event with having at least three tables of supporters here. But, you just might want to keep a little closer eye on the whole entertainment expense category. I'm just telling you, it's Wall Street's watching you every quarter, and, so don't want to lose a penny of earnings off that. So, our next award is for the Private Company CFO of the Year. And to present that award, we have Samantha Jones from Wells Fargo. For those of you younger financial folks out there, Samantha's career path is the template for success. She has held positions of progressively greater responsibility at every step of her career. It's like a ladder, okay? Associate, risk manager, loan team manager, regional vice president, now division manager, responsible for managing regional commercial banking offices throughout Southern California. I mean, that's about as steady a progression as you can lay out in a career. And by the way, she has an MBA from Wharton, which doesn't hurt either. So please give a warm welcome to Samantha Jones from Wells Fargo Bank.
Thank you very much, Murray. So I can't do push-ups with a clap. I don't teach any classes, and I'm having to go after Mike, which I just want to say thank you for sharing with us your background and your appreciation for working for such a great company. It just truly makes a difference, and I think everybody could feel it in the room, so just thank you for sharing in all that you do. And as a customer, Tillys, of Wells Fargo, just congratulations and everything. So now I don't have to say what I did because Murray took that away. But I do know in my job how much time and effort it takes in helping people and companies succeed financially. I'm proud to be here as a representative of Wells Fargo and tell you that Wells Fargo has a presence in Orange County for a very long time. It dates back to 1860, when we appointed our first agent in Anaheim. In 1968, our first community banking branch opened up in Santa Ana. So needless to say, if you do the math, we've been in Orange County for about 160 years. In addition to that, our team members contribute about $750,000 to our annual community support campaign and volunteer 17,000 hours in Orange County alone. That's in addition to our foundation giving $3 million. So our commitment to Orange County is strong and will continue to be. As a employee or team member of Wells Fargo, it's important to be a part of a company that gives back. It's just a part of my nature. I have 3 boys, and I know I haven't gotten here by myself, and so the giving back is just very important. I was extremely excited to learn that I would be announcing this particular winner of the CFO of the Year for Private Company. So let me tell you a little bit about this very special honoree. This person travels all around the world for both business and pleasure, and as part of the travels has been drawn to humanitarian causes, especially to help children. As a mom of 3 teenage boys who shop at Tillys all the time, this is very important to me. All I have to do is give them a gift card and they just go shopping. Oh, no. I'm going to have to check on that with the bank. So on a trip to South Africa, this honoree made a special trip to Zambia to meet children in a nursery school and provided much needed supplies, including a lot of soccer balls, which is a favorite sport of his son's. In addition to helping the community, the honoree leaves a mark on colleagues. Comments from associates on LinkedIn describe this person as a true leader, a very detailed and practical CFO. It's true that the winner of this award is at the very least a detailed and practical CFO, having successfully helped complete 15 mergers over the past 3 years, that's a lot, for a company whose mission is to help protect the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the soil that feeds us. And if that's not impressive enough, this honoree helped the organization average approximately 25% year-over-year growth over the past 2 years. Those are numbers that I all think we can agree are outstanding. So with no further ado and much pleasure, I'd like to announce this year's CFO of the Year Award for Private Company, Allan Dix of Montrose Environmental.
Mike, that's a pretty hard act to follow, so I'm going to try. I'm going to read mine. So this is truly an honor. I want to thank the judges, the sponsors, my fellow nominees, truly talented group of individuals, and it's humbling to be part of this group, and certainly I'm humbled to have been awarded this award. So I also wanted to thank the Montrose team for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. We had another event going on, and they were kind enough to join me at this one. So, thank you. So you've heard a little bit about my background, and I've certainly had what I consider to be an interesting career, from auditing the Red Cross in a small village in northern Mozambique to having my own office as an audit manager at the Walt Disney corporate headquarters in Burbank. From being a seat filler at the Oscars, sitting in Chris Rock's seat when working for PwC, to spending time in a compound in the middle of the world's largest pineapple plantation on the island of Mindanao in the Philippines when working for Dole. From supporting M&A in tech startups during the dot-com boom in Silicon Valley, to having to downsize the finance department by 40%, at $1 billion home supply business just 3 weeks after joining when the housing market collapsed in September 2008. From being CFO of a company that owned 16 million chickens and sold 7 billion eggs, to CFO of a startup public Canadian company in the drug rehab space. So as I reflect back on a career that's certainly been full of experience, some good, some bad, certainly a lot ugly, and the decisions I've made along the way, right, wrong, and indifferent, that have led me down paths that I couldn't possibly have foreseen, I wouldn't change a thing. Sure, there were some excruciating experiences I would never want to go through again, but looking back, those were the times that I learned more than I ever have, and learned about what it takes to be good at what you do. And let's face it, being a CFO is a pretty cool job and an amazing experience. Yes, it can be tough. Sure, it can be stressful. Yes, annual audits are as fun as a colonoscopy. And SOX compliance as exciting as a root canal. Sure, you occasionally have to be the killer of marketing dreams and naysayer of HR fantasies, and best friend of Chief Buzzkill, the General Counsel. But you get to be heavily involved in influencing a company's future. And I'm not just talking about modeling out strategic alternatives or executing on financing to drive M&A. It's the little things that matter. That one less day of DSOs, the couple of days shaved off for month-end close, the automation that allows you to grow rapidly, that cumulatively allow you to make a company better. So if I may, I'd like to share some thoughts for the CFOs out there as I look back over my career. Be bold and prepare to take risks with your career. It doesn't always work out the way you planned, but you'd be better off for it, even though when things go sideways, it may not seem that way. Surround yourself with the best and brightest team you can find. They'll push you to be the best you can be. It's okay to say yes on occasion. Make time for your friends and family. Being tough and firm are parts of the job. Make sure you do it with compassion. Love the people you work with. They're the next closest thing you have to family. Be ethical in all you do. You set the standard for those around you. Sometimes the commute just isn't worth it, although you'd be amazed what you can get used to. Be loyal and respectful. It truly is a small world, and those you interact with can make a difference to your life years later. If your CEO isn't someone you trust implicitly and in turn trust you, move on. Things are not going to work out well. Take time to mentor someone. Smile more. It unnerves people when CFOs smile. Work smart, play fair. Listen more, talk less, let the data beat your voice. Fail quickly, learn from it, and keep going. And finally, don't underestimate the value of corporate culture. It can make all the difference when the going gets tough. So again, thank you. I'm truly humbled by this award.
Congratulations, Allan, and thanks for the words of wisdom. You probably should also get another award for the most diverse CFO industry experience ever. Best I can tell, you've been a senior finance executive at Dole Pineapple, at Whitecap Building Supplies, at a $750 million a year egg production business, 7 billion eggs a year, at a big security guard service, at a behavioral health services provider, and now at Montrose. You have done it all, Allan. I mean, there's nothing, no stone left unturned in that list of industry sectors, so congratulations. Now, our next award recognizes excellence in the CFO position among nonprofit organizations. Being CFO of a nonprofit organization can be just as demanding, some would say more so, than that same position in a for-profit business, but sometimes it does have the benefit of greater emotional rewards on the nonprofit side. To present the Nonprofit CFO of the Year Award, we are privileged to have with us Lindsay Hulley, the very talented intellectual property partner at the preeminent law firm of Rudin and Tucker. Every year I introduce Lindsay, I note that she has been named a Southern California super lawyer. And each time I have to extend her streak of being recognized by another year. She is now up to 5 consecutive years with that honor. Now, Lindsay's practice focuses on trademark and copyright prosecution, and she advises clients on the development of trademark strategies, protection, enforcement, licensing, and transfer of IP. Her clients are spread across a wide, and I mean wide, variety of industries. I'm going to try to give you this list of all the industries that she serves clients in one breath, okay? Apparel, medical device, alcohol, food and beverage, vitamin supplement, gaming, automotive, e-commerce, real estate, hospital administration, dental, construction, cosmetics, marketing, software, fitness, financial, and communications. Okay, please give Lindsay Hulley a warm welcome to present the Nonprofit CFO of the Year Award.
Everything you read on the internet there, Murray. Hi, everyone. Well, thank you for the kind introduction, as usual, Murray. As Orange County's largest full-service law firm, Rudin is proud to be a sponsor of tonight's event, and we're excited to celebrate this occasion with so many of our colleagues, friends, and clients. Tonight's recipient for the Not-for-Profit CFO of the Year Award is truly impressive. Since joining the company 2.5 years ago, the company has achieved its largest revenue growth of over 100% while implementing cost containment and restructuring strategies in cost reduction of over 35%. The CFO has over 15 years of experience in her nonprofit healthcare sector and has managed her company's regulatory, compliance, and pro bono matters, including Title 22. She's also managed internal and external audits and played a key role in acquiring a service enterprise national license for volunteer management. She was instrumental in the rebranding of the organization, which resulted in revenue growth, diversified funding, and expanding services to their clientele. In fact, the company increased the number of clients served from 1,600 to 5,700 during her short tenure there. Her career has been dedicated to serving those in need, and prior to her current role, she served as the CFO of the Alzheimer's Family Services Center and as the CFO of Western Youth Services. As a founding member and co-chair of the Orange County CFO Leadership Council, our honoree is also an industry leader and has helped build the foundation and growth of the Southern California local chapter of a leading professional association whose mission is to empower senior financial executives. In her important role, she's acted as a mentor to many other CFOs and works to develop effective executive programming annually to assist EFOs in bettering their own businesses. A true community activist, she's also served on Oversight Committee Measure M and donated her time and experience to countless other causes. As if she were not busy enough with her career and volunteer service, she's also a devoted single mother of 4 teenage children, aged 18, 19, 19, and 21. Yes, she has twins as well. And on top of her busy schedule for the past 7 years, she has been studying organizational leadership with the Chicago School of Professional Psychology and has also recently received her PhD. Please join me in congratulating the 2019 Orange County Business Journal Not-for-Profit CFO of the Year Guita Shafiri of Radiant Health Centers.
Well, thank you, everyone. I'm humbled to be here, and I'm not really good in speeches. So I have a little thing written here, so if I can read, I have to wear my glasses. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank all the other CFOs. I want to thank my CEO, Phil Yeager, on table 18, and board members. And I want to thank another board member, William, who has joined me tonight, and he's also a client of ours. We were formerly 8 Services Foundation, Orange County, and we're currently Radiant Health Centers. We rebranded about a year ago. The nonprofit sector was not my first career choice. Like a lot of you, I've started in a for-profit, a global company. But once I started working for a nonprofit about 15 years ago, I just could not switch back to a for-profit. Once the journey began 15 years ago, there was no turning back. Words cannot describe the incredible experience I have working with everyone at Radiant Health Centers. The environment at Radiant Health Center allows me the freedom to be creative and engage both my head and my heart in my work, making it all more fulfilling. Our all-encompassing mission is to end the HIV/AIDS epidemic in Orange County. Yes. Too few people are aware of the fact that there are 5 to 7 cases of HIV still in Orange County that we detect. We're the largest AIDS organization in Orange County. And out of that, about 20% we recognize having hepatitis C and other infectious diseases. And that's not acceptable to Radiant Health Center, and it shouldn't be acceptable to us. Radiant Health Center is moving and reinventing itself in order to be more responsive to the needs of the most vulnerable in HIV and AIDS and LGBTQ+ community in Orange County. I consider it a privilege to be working with such a passionate and dynamic group of people to make a zero transmission, zero death as for HIV and AIDS, and zero stigma. I'm passionate to be part of that in Orange County. So I just want to read a quote, and it says, "Life is not about what happens to you, but about what you do with what happens to you." And just like some of you, maybe, I'm also an immigrant. And I'm sorry, I'm emotional after everybody else's speech. But I'm an immigrant from Iran, and I'm very, very blessed to be here and also recognized for this award tonight. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to Guita. You know, you've devoted your entire career to organizations that help the less fortunate, except for that original stint at some big global company. But other than that, basically helping the less fortunate, and we're all very appreciative of it and your efforts to make the world a better place. So thank you, Guita. Now we are ready for a new award, or at least this is the first time I can remember this award in my 9 years up here. It is the Corporate Controller of the Year Award, and we have a great presenter, Jean-Paul Bouchereau, from Comerica Bank. Now, you can call him JP, but I took many years of French in junior and senior high school, so I get to call him Jean-Paul. JP controls a lot of territory at Comerica. Check this out. He is the Senior Vice President and Regional Group Manager for an area of over 10,000 square miles and over 7 million people. That's a big kingdom for John Paul. But as Mel Brooks said in the movie History of the World Part 1, it's good to be king. So here is Comerica's King of OC in the Inland Empire, J.P. Bouchereau, to present the Corporate Controller of the Year Award.
You went to a really good high school. That's good French there. I don't know about king, but maybe just peon here. Well, good evening. At Comerica, I serve as Senior Vice President and Group Manager overseeing the middle market banking team, covering Orange County and Inland Empire. It's not
10,000 square miles.
10,000 square miles. That's a lot of driving. We are honored to once again to serve as a sponsor for this great event. For those of you who are not familiar with Comerica Bank, this year we are celebrating our 170th anniversary. In addition to serving our clients, we take pride in our charitable giving and volunteerism in the communities in which we serve. Through our charitable foundation, sponsorships, and community reinvestment budget, we provided funding to more than 300 nonprofits in California last year and plan to do the same this year. We feel privileged to be a sponsor at this event. And now that I've concluded that short commercial on behalf of Comerica, I'd like to congratulate all of you who have been nominated tonight. You are truly making a difference with the important work you do, and I hope all of you have a fantastic 2019. We know how challenging the responsibility of managing the financial wherewithal of a company is, and we are glad to see so many of you being recognized for your outstanding work. So, it is with great pleasure that I have the opportunity to present the award for Outstanding Corporate Controller. In less than 2 years, this nominee has helped build a high-quality accounting team and has significantly improved the quality of their company's policies and processes. This individual works for a global company with highly innovative, analog semiconductors, connecting people, places, and things, spanning a number of new and previously unimagined applications within the aerospace, automotive, broadband, cellular infrastructure, connected home, industrial, medical, military, smartphone, tablet, and wearable markets. How was that?
That was pretty good.
Yeah. This individual earned their bachelor's degree in accounting from Cal State Fullerton and their MBA from USC. In addition, this nominee is a licensed CPA and CFA. It's a lot of acronyms after the last name. Clearly, he's been busy. Prior to this position, at Skyworks, he spent over 8 years at Broadcom. Please join me in congratulating 2019 Orange County Business Journal Outstanding Corporate Controller of the Year, Phil Carter, Vice President, Corporate Controller, Skyworks Solutions.
Well, thank you to the Orange County Business Journal. Thank you for the sponsors who've put on a wonderful event. So very honored to be nominated with a group of remarkable people and individuals. So thank you. So Skyworks, many of you probably don't know what we do. We make semiconductors that go into the iPhone and other devices. We helped enable communications, receiving, sending, things like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, GLONASS, 2G, 3G, 5G, a lot of acronyms, but the more they expand that, the more content we get, which is good for us. And so we help to enable communications. 5G is going to be, everyone's hearing the buzz about 5G and what's going to bring, and so we're trying to solve traffic congestion, for example. You know, trying to get autonomous vehicles that will gather petabytes of data And that will solve congestion by basically removing the space between cars. So you take out the behavior of individuals, but you keep the reflexes, and that will help to solve the traffic congestion. Without building more roads, raising sales taxes, we can help to enable better traffic flow. So that's one of the many innovations that Skyworks does. So I'm very proud to work for a company that's helping to enable the future of innovation. So very thankful for that. Last 2 years at Skyworks, been very exciting. So 8 months prior to joining Skyworks, I saw in the Orange County Business Journal that Liam was made the new CEO in Orange County of this company. And so instantly, I'm at Broadcom, we're all on transition, and so I send Liam an email and I say, hey, I have a finance and accounting organization here at Broadcom, and if you're moving the headquarters to Orange County, we could be of some use to you. I don't hear a word. A month later, send another email, hey, Liam, just checking in, no word. A couple months later, I see that they hired Chris Senesel as the new CFO, based in Orange County. Instantly, I'm like, okay, this is great. So now I know they're moving to Orange County. They're moving finance to Orange County. And so I send Chris an email. Hey, let's get together. He responds instantly. We have lunch the next day. And then a few months later, I started Skyworks. Since then, we've hired around, 10 people or so from Broadcom. And sorry to all the recruiters out there. So brought a team over from Broadcom, and with Chris's vision, we've created a center of excellence. We've opened a low-cost shared service center. We've focused on people, processes, and systems. We've implemented Blackline, Workiva, Hyperion, AP automation tool called Bassware. And then we've changed the chart of accounts. We inherited the Rockwell Collins chart of accounts. We've moved that over to something new. And so a lot of changes in 2 years. We've hired a bunch of people, and it's been very exciting as a company. We've done some acquisitions. We closed on a $400 million deal in August, fully integrated at this point. And so a lot of change, a lot of good stuff. And that wouldn't have been possible without the team of people we brought from Broadcom, some of them sitting at table 56. But a lot of great talent that we've been able to bring to the company and really focus on innovation, continuous improvement, and all those things that are necessary in this global company with complex manufacturing, and we moved the audit from Boston over to Orange County, and so a lot of change, and it's been great for us, and a really good experience. And it wouldn't have been possible without the execution of the team members, really focused, and it wouldn't have been possible without Chris. So Chris is our CFO of the year for sure. He's been very strategic, his vision, and really helping us and supporting us and providing the resources necessary to be successful. Without the influence and power of a CFO can actually influence the other executives and team members to make that change. It's really tough. It's like pushing on a thread that you really can't get to move. And so Chris has been great for us and great for me, and I'm grateful for him trusting me and empowering me to make some big decisions. So very thankful. Thank you, Chris. And then, even the service providers, I think, we rely heavily on service providers, Deloitte, KPMG, many of our service providers. We rely on you for your intuition, your knowledge. I mean, your experiences are so useful for us in really gauging the direction we should head. So I am very thankful for that as well. And finally, my family, my wife is here, and without her support and their support getting my MBA, all those acronyms, MBA, CFA, without their support and really helping out, it wouldn't have been possible. All of us go through trials and tribulations at work, and so you got to focus on those rocks and make sure that those are stable and steady. So very thankful for that, and thank you all. I'm very thankful. Thanks.
Congrats, Phil. Also, I think maybe he could be eligible for another award as well for the top number of LinkedIn endorsements of any winner this evening. Phil, you have over 300 LinkedIn endorsements. I don't think I could get that many people to endorse me on LinkedIn if I paid them. And I'm going to assume that Phil did not pay anyone. He seems like a nice enough guy. I don't think he would do that kind of thing. So our final award this evening is for the Rising Star CFO of the Year. What does it mean to be a rising star? Well, if you're a football fan, it means Patrick Mahomes or Jared Goff. If you're into pop or rap music, it could mean Cardi B, Halsey, or Camila Cabello. But our presenter for the Rising Star Award tonight is definitely not a rising star. He's already a full-fledged star. Brian Mulvaney has been a force in the Orange County corporate finance scene for many years. He's a managing director at Union Bank, which means he and I have offices in the same building, and so I have the privilege of seeing him in the lobby every so often as he's busily on his way to meetings. But since he has a background in both commercial banking and investment banking, he's especially busy these days since Union Bank recently acquired Intrepid Investment Banking. So he's got both sides of the house now. But Brian, fortunately, has made time to join us tonight, and so let's give him a big welcome. Brian Mulvaney. Woo!
All right, good evening. So I'm the last speaker tonight, so I'll keep this under 45 minutes. So thank you, Murray. It's my honor to be representing Union Bank to announce the Rising Star recipient tonight. As you may know, Union Bank is a proud sponsor. We've been proudly serving California businesses and families for over 150 years in California. Our partnership with MUFG has provided us with the ability to deliver global strength and services of one of the world's largest and most stable financial services firm in the world, while at the same time delivering the care and focus of a local bank. I joined Union Bank just over a year ago and have been fortunate enough to lead the Orange County commercial banking team. So I'm going to steal just a moment of your time tonight to publicly thank my colleagues for making my first year such a great one. So many of you know who they are and know what an outstanding team that they are. So now back to our regularly scheduled program. So congratulations to the 7 nominees tonight, but to quote Highlander, one of the great movies, there can only be one. I spoke with the panelists who know and interviewed the candidate and also had a chance to spend some time with him. Therefore, I can say that the title Rising Star is absolutely appropriate. In fact, I'd even say that he will be a future CFO of the year. He's always faced challenges head on. He did it as a young lad on the sports field, a collegiate scholar athlete, a young executive who volunteered to take a multi-year assignment in Asia. He was a young husband juggling a new career, had to move to California, as well as getting his MBA at UCI. He's raised 3 kids with his lovely wife, and most recently is a rising leader within his own firm. When I asked him about what he was proud of in his career, he immediately said it was his team. Not just the team that reports to him, but who he works with, and also who's mentored him over the years. Mind you, this was supposed to be an interview about him, and he immediately wanted to make it about them. As a former college athlete, he admittedly has a propensity for using sports analogies and quotes, which I think his team will probably groan here when I say this one, because one of his standby quotes from Vince Lombardi is the famous, "We will chase perfection, but along the way we shall catch excellence." Well, this gentleman, his combination of chasing perfection, teamwork, a constant quest for new challenges has served him quite well. In just the past 5 years, so think about this, right? In the last 5 years, he's had to implement a brand new ERP system after a corporate spin out, prepared for the first and subsequent audits for the new entity, did a $1 billion recapitalization with a private equity firm, did multiple capital markets offerings, mostly debt, prepared for an IPO, more importantly, completed an IPO, ensured that the company was SEC, SAR-BOX, and GAAP compliant, engaged with equity analysts and his board on a regular basis, and oh, by the way, during that 5-year period when they did all of this, they analyzed and closed and integrated on 17 acquisitions. So hopefully by now you've figured out who this award winner is. So please join me in welcoming to the stage this year's Mr. Rising Star, David Sunderland from Emerald-Expositions. Congratulations, David.
I learned years ago that being the last, it's preventing all of us from going to the bar. So we're going to keep this really, really quick. So first of all, I just wanted to thank the panelists and the process for this honor. Also the nominating firm Beacon, Resource, and Ryan Milne. They've been a great partner over the years, so I wanted to thank them as well. Really, you know, Emerald's been quite a journey for 5 years. We've done a lot. As Brian mentioned, we've done 17 acquisitions. We went public. We were a spin out from a private equity firm. Kind of had to build everything from scratch. So the word second shift in my team has been sort of coined with t-shirts because we work a lot, but we've done a lot in the last 5 years. Just in terms of thanks, first of all, I want to thank my boss, Phil Evans, who's our interim CEO and CFO. And the way I can describe my admiration for Phil is, you know, since I started out as an analyst to now, he's had the most profound impact on my career ever. And I think of him as a mentor and someone that I would go to battle with every day. So what he means to the company is just unreal, and I just wanted to thank him for that. Next, real quick, is just my team, who's all here today. And everyone who kind of knows me knows I'm really big on leadership and team. And I want to thank them because they made me a better leader over the last 5 years. And to me, you can put in a system, you can analyze balance sheets and income statements, but leadership is really where it's at. And every day I try to become a better leader, a better mentor, and they've pushed me to do that. Hardworking, sincere, dedicated group of people that we've all been together since day one, and without them, none of this is possible. So I wanted to really thank them for that. And lastly, my wife, Christina, who has been my rock since I started my career, the most amazing support person ever. All of this is possible because of her, so I wanted to thank her and thank everyone. Let's go drink.
Congratulations, David, and I know that everyone out there appreciates your brevity since the bar is indeed imminently in our future. I do want to congratulate all of our nominated CFOs tonight because all of you are stars. We could only give 5 awards tonight. I get paid by the award, and OCBJ couldn't afford me for more than 5 presentations. But there are lots of other incredibly talented and worthy CFOs among our nominees tonight, and hopefully you will all be back here next year to be recognized and to acknowledge the contributions that CFOs make to the strategic success of their business. And if there's a lot of demand for it, I'll do more Marine-style push-ups next year. Now, I am going to turn the podium over to Richard Reisman, and I wish you all a wonderful 2019.
I wanted to stay here. There's only 5 awards, but there's also a token of appreciation.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
So thank you, Murray, for gracing us today. And thank you for the Surf and Sand Hotel for making the gift possible.
I'm going to crash the party.
Oh, my God. This was unexpected.
Party. This is the first? Yes. Okay, I'm going to talk for a second. So, the whole night was amazing, right? Everybody was right? Yes, amazing, right? Think about the space that Orange County Business Journal is in. You know, it's a very tight space. Newspapers, media, all of them are closing down, and he has more people tonight than ever before.
So thank you all for coming.
So first, for the people that don't know Richard, he's the CEO of the Orange County Business Journal.
That's correct.
So, guys, without him, we wouldn't have any of these events. Without the fact that the Orange County Business Journal is doing better than any newspapers today, no one of these people that voted, and amazing people, would get the reward that they did. So I believe everybody should stand up and give respect to Richard. Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! That's it.
Thanks, Dad. Anyway, we have 5 great winners this year, and as he's right, those winners got to be announced in front of a bigger audience than we've ever had for this event in the entire time we've done this. But the good news is that there are so many great nominees this year that we had to pass over, so we'll have great winners again next year. Before I let you go, I'd like to acknowledge some of the great folks in the Orange County Business Journal team, especially Tiffany Benando, Melanie Collins, Jamie Derby, Kristen Porter, Summer Bowles, Bobby Dorman, Kim Lopez, Corinne Decker, Angela Phillips, Shelley Asher, and Steve Gall. We couldn't put on events like this that run so smoothly without them, so let's acknowledge them. And thank you for our vendors that are in your program. And finally, I'd ask that all the award recipients come over to the side of the stage for photographs.
Centerpiece.
And last, if the back cover of your Orange County Business Journal at your seat has an orange dot on the back page, that centerpiece at your table belongs to you. Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you again next year. Happy New Year.
The PwC logo is not the orange dot.
Gracing us today, and thank you for the Surf and Sand Hotel for making the gift possible.
I'm going to crash the party.
Oh my God, this was unexpected.
Party. The first? Yes. Okay, I'm going to talk for a second. So, the whole night was amazing, right? Everybody was right? Yes, amazing, right? Think about the space that Orange County Business Journal is in. You know, it's a very tight space. Newspapers, media, all of them are closing down, and he has more people tonight than ever before.
So thank you all for coming.
So first, for the people that don't know Richard, he's the CEO of the Orange County Business Journal.
That's correct.
So, guys, without him, we wouldn't have any of these events. Without the fact that the Orange County Business Journal is doing better than any newspapers today, no one of these people that voted, and amazing people, would get the reward that they did. So I believe everybody should stand up and give respect to Richard. Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! That's it.
Thanks, Dad. Anyway, we have 5 great winners this year, and as he's right, those winners got to be announced in front of a bigger audience than we've ever had for this event in the entire time we've done this. But the good news is that there are so many great nominees this year that we had to pass over, so we'll have great winners again next year. Before I let you go, I'd like to acknowledge some of the great folks in the Orange County Business Journal team, especially Tiffany Benando, Melanie Collins, Jamie Derby, Kristen Porter, Summer Bowles, Bobby Dorman, Kim Lopez, Corinne Decker, Angela Phillips, Shelley Asher, and Steve Gall. We couldn't put on events like this that run so smoothly without them, so let's acknowledge them. And thank you for our vendors that are in your program. And finally, I'd ask that all the award recipients come over to the side of the stage for photographs.
Centerpiece.
And last, if the back cover of your Orange County Business Journal at your seat has an orange dot on the back page, that centerpiece at your table belongs to you. Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you again next year. Happy New Year.
The PwC logo is not the orange dot.